G'day guys, welcome to episode 44 of Ask Jack D. Today we take a question from Chris Ward via video on Facebook about how to raise money from investors and what are the main things they are looking for. Not only that, but Rosie sings.
I ride the wave swiftly, I fear no man. Check my titles, mate, quickly. Came from the sky with the light.
G'day guys, welcome to episode 44 of Ask Jack D. This is a big episode 44. Rosie, hit those notes. Yeah. It was good, right? It was awesome. Really on song. Thanks, Rosie. I love you. Episode 44, guys. Today we're taking a question from Chris Ward, who was sent in a video via one of the platforms. What platform did Chris come at us from? Facebook. Chris, hit it.
Hey Jack, Chris here from Urban Paleo.
G'day, mate.
I'm just looking to find out the most important things to have down pat and to know when looking to attract potential investors. So whether it be the numbers you really need to know to make a good impression, or is it the procedures and the policies and so forth. So if you can let me know, that'd be fantastic. Cheers, mate.
Yeah, good. Chris, great question. Thank you for asking it. A lot of entrepreneurs, capital raising is important. The ability to raise money is a skill. It's not a black art. I know there's a lot of grey around it. However, at the end of the day, capital raising is a skill, right? You can learn it, you can do it better. Out of every 4,000 people that try and raise money in Australia, one succeeds, right? So like 0.00025% of people actually succeed. People that come through, used to come through MBE or come through the Entourage, about 75% of the people that try and raise money once educated through what we do succeed, right? So that speaks to that when you're educated on the process, you become far more competent at the skill of raising capital. So let me break it down into three different areas for you, Chris. You've got past, present, future. Past, what does an investor want to see? They want to see milestones achieved to date, meaning what have you achieved to date by virtue of this business? Has it been the build of an audience? Have you got some consumer insight? The answer to that should be yes, right? You must have consumer insight. You should never just go to an investor with an idea, right? That's not to say you haven't launched yet. It's to say you've had an idea, you've tested the idea, you've spoken to consumers, you've got verified quantitative and qualitative data to say that they want what you're ordering or what you're offering. You've launched a fan page on Facebook or a landing page online, and you've had a few thousand people opt in or a few thousand people join the group or like the page or whatever it might be. There are so many ways that you can demonstrate traction, right, within and for your consumer, even if you haven't launched yet. So the more proof of concept you can achieve by virtue of everything you've done in the past, the greater your valuation will be, the greater your case will be, and the more likely you are to actually raise the money, right? So milestones achieved to date in the past for the purpose of proof of concept. Proof of concept can come in many forms: opt-ins, liking, consumer insight, pre-sales, right, heaps of stuff. Do all of that before going to investors. The second thing, if we look at present, right, so we go past, then we look at present. The main thing an investor is going to be looking for in terms of what you've got right now is, do you have product to market fit? Which again speaks to proof of concept, right? Do you have product to market fit, and how have you demonstrated that? Product to market fit should be you can walk into a circle of 5 people in your target market and 4 of them go, wow, right? How can you prove you've reached that level of product to market fit and achieved that level of consumer insight, right? The second thing with regards to the present is your team, right? For any early stage business, an investor is investing in primarily you as the entrepreneur. Now, that's not to say that you need 10 years of experience in that particular space. It's not even to say that you need to have built a successful business before, because if you haven't, you can still raise money, right? First time I raised money, I was probably 20 years of age. So I'd raised debt and stuff like that before. The first time I raised equity capital, I was probably about 19 or 20. I did it off like half a business plan and a glass of wine and a business prior to that had failed, right? So didn't have a great deal of experience. So if you do, bring that to the forefront. If you don't, build out a team, right? Demonstrate that you have mentors and advisors that are helping you along this journey, right? Even if it's people you go to sushi with every now and again, you'd ask those people, can I put your photo and your bio, on our website or in our IM, our information memorandum, or in our business plan, whatever it might be, so that I can demonstrate to people that you are somebody that I seek guidance and advice from. Like don't necessarily need to be a director. They definitely don't need to be a shareholder. But who do you have around you that's helping you navigate this growth path? And then the third thing is, if we look at the future, right? Number one in terms of the future is, what is the vision of this company? Now, vision is important, and it might sound a little bit intangible for an investment discussion. Why do I say raise vision? Because I've been investing in businesses now for a long time. I'm an investor in Q-Biotics, who have found a natural sort of drug out of the Queensland rainforest that's proven to be highly effective in animals in removing cancerous tumours. They're now going through human trials. They're coming out for IPO. I'm an investor in Martin Jetpack, which is the world's most superior one-man jetpack thing that flies around. It's freaking awesome. Look it up. They just IPO'd. I'm an investor in eMerchants, which is a publicly listed company. Velocity Consulting through the Entourage Growth Fund. So I've raised, for me and on behalf of clients, hundreds of millions of dollars from investors, and I've invested in a lot of businesses. And vision is important, and I'll tell you why. If you as the entrepreneur just starting out, your vision is to build a $5 million company or build a company of X amount of size. Let's use dollars as a tangible measurement right now. Build a $5 million company. I know that you may build a $5 million company. Just because you're trying to doesn't mean you will. But I know that if you're trying to build a $5 million company, you definitely won't build a $10 million company. If you're trying to build a $50 million company, you might achieve that, but you definitely will not build a $100 million company. If your vision is to build a $100 million company, you might achieve that, but you definitely won't build a $200 million company, right? So the reason we ask vision is to get a gauge for how big is the entrepreneur thinking. And then after you've done vision, you want to talk about future growth strategy. So this is where we want to be. And, we're really only planning out the next 18 to 24 months because that's really visibly only how far our vision's, not how far our vision stretches. Vision might be 5 or 10 year vision, but that's only how far our planning or our foresight currently stretches. And this is what we're going to do over the next 18 to 24 months to get us, the first step toward the vision. So think past, think what have we built in the past that's given us proof of concept in the present, and then go vision in the future and what's the next step to get there. If you can demonstrate all of that sort of stuff, and by the way, try and get the business as far as you can along the journey to achieve proof of concept before you go out and raise money. Numbers, policies and procedures, maybe later, like to your specific question, Chris, but that stuff might come later in the more detailed due diligence that the investor does. Won't be, financials will be, but policies and procedures and the more detailed stuff will come later, if at all. Really, at the beginning, it's really about the high level questions. Chris, really good question. I hope that helps. Hit us up. Let me know if and when you employ these strategies, and let me know if you're successful or not in raising capital. And if not, let's have another conversation. If so, tell us what you did that you believe got you to a point of successfully raising the capital. And hit up the Entourage Growth Fund. We've got an online application. The link will be somewhere around this video. Gresh, remember to do that. Click that, go through, apply for that, and I'll look over the information that you have. Who knows? We may do a deal. Chris, thanks for the question. I look forward to speaking to you guys tomorrow.